Hello everyone, Magdalena here. It's June, it's time of the constellation of the twins, so Gemini or Gemini. And I thought I would make a video about heavenly twins, the divine brothers of the skies, and about how they were seen in Slavic belief and whether they were there at all. I think they were, so that's why I'm making the video. So yeah, let's start with the most famous pair, which is the Dioscuri, meaning Castor and Pollux, or Polydeucus, from Greek belief, adopted by Romans too, and they are the pair that is the constellation of the twins. But it seems that this motif of two brothers is connected to heavens, is pretty common around the world, particularly Indo-European, which is what interests me most in connection to Slavic belief. Am I blurry? Hope not. So we also have the Ashvins in Indian myth. They were equestrian celestial gods, and their sister was Ushas, meaning aurora or dawn, the goddess of dawn. And they were healers and general givers of good things, of blessings and luck. Then we have the Ashvieniai in Lithuanian belief, and Dievadeli, which are sons of God in Latvia, and they are very similar. Also, Lithuanian and Latvian beliefs are pretty close because they are in the same group of Baltic people, and I will only mention that Baltic people are the closest to Slavic people, so in the cultural and sense and belief system, stuff like that, we see a lot of that in common. So they were also connected to Aurora or sun goddess. It seems that this goddess, the celestial goddess, seemed to be either, it would be like exchangeable. She would be either Aurora or sun goddess. And yeah, Ashvieniai is, I hope I'm pronouncing this right because I have no clue. It is also a name for two horse heads put on top of roofs for protection against evil. So not only the name is really similar to Indian Ashvins, which by the way mean horse owners or something like that. So obviously they were connected to horses, but also, yeah, the concept of this pair of gods is similar. Then we also have the Alcis gods from Germanic belief, and they are also compared to the Dioscuri from Greek belief in the Chronicles. And in Poland we have a pair, Lel and Polel, so brothers Lel and Polel. They are said to be the sons of goddess Łada, or in the Interpretatio Romana, they are like Castor and Pollux again, and the goddess is called Leda. just like in Greek mythology. or Latinized version of it. They were called upon during weddings and various celebrations. And what I have here, yeah, like I have here from old chronicles people singing and clapping old songs such as Łada, Łada, Ileli, Ileli, Poleli, and with clapping. So they were definitely connected. Well, there are some scholars that would tell you that they are just random words that were made up for drinking games, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if it was connected to ceremonies such as weddings, very important things, events, all those people wanted to do everything just right. So to perform a ritual, they wouldn't just sing la 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 or whatever they felt like. There were like specific songs to be sung. So I believe it can be a proof of those gods. In Poland also, yeah, the records that tell us that Polish people worshipped them should be a proof enough. But there are some, I gotta tell you, there are some, there used to be, well, the older generation of scholars that think that half of the names of gods and goddesses that we have in the chronicles, they were just made up by those historians. Because, yeah, I don't know why they would make it up, but yeah, that's the approach that prevented at least one or two generations of scholars to dive deeper into analyzing Polish pagan belief. But I'm off topic here. So yeah, a Polish scholar, Szymon Matusiak, identifies Lel with Yash, with god Yash, about whom I made a video, so you can check it out on this Slavic pagan stuff playlist, and Polel with Łado, about whom I haven't done a video yet, but I hopefully will. So, as I said, the goddess Łada would be their mother, but we also have goddess Lela, and obviously her name is very close to Lel and Polel, so it might be just another name for this goddess, and they might be connected to her. Also in Russian we have the word Lelek, that means a healthy, strong young man. Next up we have the legend about the beginnings of Poland, and legendary ruler Krak, who was the founder of Krakow, the old capital. So in the chronicles he had two sons who defeated a monster. In later tradition the monster is described as a dragon. And then one killed the other and got banished, and their sister Wanda became queen. So we have two brothers fighting with a monster or a dragon, and a sister. And then we have later on in the chronicles we have two mysterious pilgrims on first haircut ceremony of Prince Siemowicz. The first haircut ceremony was very important for boys, and it happened sometime between 7 to 10 or 12 years old, and it marked the moment of the boy of leaving the world of women, let's say, and entering the male society. So he would now not answer to his mother all the time. He would be like taken care of more by his father and other adult males. It was a very important ceremony in Slavic countries, and so there was this traditional celebration there, and Siemowit was the future. It was to become a ruler of Poland. But he was back then. He was not yet a prince. Anyway, to this ceremony, two mysterious pilgrims arrived, and they showed they had special powers. They performed miracles, and they also did this ceremony of hair cutting for him. So it looks like it's a pair of male figures who would have an important role in this rite of passage for boys. Then in the chronicle, Prince Popiel, who preceded Siemowit and his father Piast, he also had two sons, which I find interesting. And then we can turn to folk tale that is still famous in Poland, because what I was talking right now, it's like old chronicles and people kind of know these stories, but this, what I'm going to tell you about is a folk tale or fairy tale that, for example, I have here. It's a collection of fairy tales and legends of Poland, and I read from this to my son. And we have these two gentlemen here. So they were called Valigura and Virvidon. What it means? Valigura means mountain breaker, somebody who crushes mountains, and Virvidon means oak puller, someone who just pulls oaks with the roots and everything. So obviously they were a pair of very strong twin brothers, and they were born in the forest. Their mother died in the forest giving birth to them. So the first one got nursed by a she-wolf, and the other one got nursed by a mama bear. So yeah, it looks like it's similar again with another pair of twins that we have from Roman belief, Remus and Romulus, who were nursed by the she-wolf, right? So yeah, where was I? What they did, they together, they defeated an evil dragon. They inherited a kingdom from the king of the land they saved from the dragon, and of course they got princesses for wives, two daughters of the king. There is a very, very famous artifact, a figure made from oak wood, showing, well, I can actually show you what it looked like. Oh, but I don't have the book here. Oh, I have the book here. Right. So yeah, these two guys, they have, their heads are together. They have a mustache here, and the whole figure was around 178 meters tall. So whenever I saw this is a very famous image in Poland. I imagined something like, But then I read it was like a tall man, like a full-grown man, and it was found in Fischerinsel in Tollensee. Now it's in Germany, but we know that Slavic people lived there. So and it seems to be a Slavic sculpture, and together with this one, a figure of female of a woman was found, and it was also pretty tall, 157 centimeters, also from oak wood. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the figure anywhere, so maybe it is lost. It got lost during the war or something like that. I couldn't find a picture, but the description is these twin gods with their one body together with two twin heads, and another figure of a goddess. So yeah, some people see this as a proof of this worship for Lel and Polel, and possibly their mother. I would also like to mention that there is, they are not twins, but they are I think one of the first saints of Orthodox Russia, and well, not Orthodox, generally of Russian Christianity, Princes Gleb and Boris, and they obviously have some features of older characters, not only saints like our historical Kievan princes. So they actually caught a zmi, which is, or in Polish is a żmi, and it's a creature, a serpent-like creature, and very powerful and dangerous. And they caught it, and they plowed the field with żmi. So again, we have these two men and the serpent or dragon or some kind of chthonic creature. In such situation, when we have those twin gods, there is a goddess they are courting, or who is their mother. It's like Leda and Dioscuri, or Lel, Polel and Łada, or Leda as well, and also the Ashvins and Ushas, the goddess of dawn. The Ashvins were also said to be, one would be the god of the morning star, and the other of the evening star. So you see, they are twins, they are a pair, but still there is some kind of duality, opposing forces going on here. And I actually like the idea I mentioned before to identify one of the twin gods with Yash and the other with Łada, because Yash is the god of thunder and dark sky with heavy storm clouds, and also he is more wild. For me, so he's this wild force and more impulsive, while Ład means order in Polish, so he would be this bright ruler who can be a judge, who sets rules to follow, who is more the god of the bright sky with the sun on it. So it absolutely fits for me. So yeah, so as I said, this triad, two young gods and one goddess, I see them as two halves of the year. One is brighter, warmer, the other is colder and darker. and she would be the center. Like, you know, like everything is changing around her, but she's the center, like the tree of life or the axis mundi, and I would like you to look now, I will put the pictures there, on traditional Slavic embroidery that also has some similar points with, for example, Swedish or Norwegian. So those ideas probably were exchanged or just similar from the start, and some traditional Polish paper cuttings. So a traditional name of paper cutting in the region of in the Polish region of Kurpie is Leluja. So it's similar to goddess's name Lela and those names Lel and Polel. And there is a tree and a woman with well, commonly there is either a woman with 2 birds or 2 horses, though that I see more often in the Germanic belief, like tradition, and sometimes in those paper cuttings we have the tree with 2 birds. So I think and sometimes we have a woman in the middle of the tree with birds. On both her sides. So I think that the goddess is interchangeable with the tree here. And yeah, the birds have 2 associations here that don't exclude themselves. One is, of course, celestial beings, you know, with feathers who fly, but also birds are no, the souls, human souls are shown as birds who come back from the other world in the shape of birds, and then they are reincarnated, you know. So that's that. And so the presence of birds on the tree of life is absolutely no surprise. I also think that hunter societies, and in the region of Poland or Belarus, there used to be really huge forests. We still have shared Poland sharing with Belarus, like the biggest and probably oldest primordial forest in Europe. So I would not be surprised if in some societies the horse symbol would be exchanged for a deer, and we see a lot of deer imagery and legends in Poland. Also, what is interesting, a folk version of the word for deer, which is in Polish jeleń, is actually leleń. So again we have this similar name. And yeah, and the paper cuttings with the tree of life and birds is Leluja. And that's it. Also, the author of this series of books, he suggests that there was a change in belief system in Slavic belief because of some occurrences, like the change of the way of living or influences from the outside. Anyway, he sees it like this, that those dual gods got replaced by a newcomer, that there is a new young god who is now the most important. And for example, I see an example in god Yarilo, who we find in later accounts, and he is often shown as a young man on a horse with the head of an old man in his hand or under his arm, and it is said to be the old Yarilo. So it's like this, you know, the cycle of the year when he's in spring he's young, and then he gets old and dies, and then there's a new one, and so on. And there is also in Poland there used to be this image of the folk saint Trinity, Holy Trinity. So not God the Father, Jesus and Holy Spirit. It would be Joseph, Mary and Jesus. Very popular image. So the author proposes that it was easy to overlap Christianity over like the belief that already was there of this holy family of father, mother and young son, but it was not it was not the God the Father, and the goddess was there instead of the dove, the Holy Spirit, which the Holy Spirit in Latin is male. So it really destroys the balance of male and female. Anyway, I'm off topic again. You know, I had a really difficult time preparing these notes because I have so many things I could be talking about this and around this topic, but I'm trying to keep on track, really. So, as I said, we have very popular Trinity of Joseph, Mary and baby Jesus. And in those old chronicles, like with legends about the foundation of Poland, we have this Trinity of old Piast, his wife Rzepicha and their son Szymowi, the boy that got his haircut, you know. The author of those book just opposed this, puts it against the previous, like chronologically previous in the chronicles, two sons of Krak and their sister Wanda, so two young brothers and the sister, against one old god, one young god, and the goddess, the mother and the wife. It seems that the old twin gods would hang around in those beliefs, but they were not the center of attention anymore. And he points out that in fairy tales it's always the youngest of three brothers who would be the most successful. He would be at first laughed upon, but then he would do the hero thing and he would be the best of them. So the author sees it like the proof of this change, that the new ideas came, and like the young god would replace the pair of young gods, but adult ones. I'm not sure about it, because there are also many folk tales that say the same about female characters. So there would be this youngest daughter who would be the smartest and who would have the adventures and who would triumph in the end. So I think I read it somewhere that according to those fairy tales, some sources say that it was customary in some societies for the youngest son or daughter to be heir, so to inherit everything. So that might be the echo of that. But yeah, another possibility that comes to my mind is that it often happens that when a god gets like more popularity, he is somehow, promoted, he gets more powerful, and he also like takes from other weaker, less popular deities, and it just morphs, everything transforms. So one of the gods gets more popular, and more people pray to him and see him as the more powerful of the two, for example. And then he gets promoted to the father figure. And the other one, he stays young and he becomes his son. Or / a version of his father, like we see with Yarilo, like we see with there is this pair also in southern Slavic belief. Anyway, it happens in many belief systems anyway. But the image of young twin gods stayed as well, because it's not like it got wiped. Some people still remembered older beliefs, so they stayed, they hang around. So they kind of could have got duplicated. So they would be those two, like even gods, and in the new configuration one would be the father, the other would be the son. Yeah, so this is mostly what I wanted to say, and just as usual, to sum it all up, yes, I think there was a belief of twin gods, the sons of the sky, and yeah, they would be celestial givers of blessings, of health, good weather. What means good weather is also sometimes rain, because if you're a farmer, you need rain, right, for your crops. So and if it doesn't rain for too long, it's bad. If it rains for too long, it's also bad. So they would like regulate the weather, which was very important. And they would be associated often with horses or deers, I believe. And they would be associated with a goddess, who would be their mother or sister, and with who herself was connected to the tree of life, and would be often either sun goddess, like we have in Lithuanian belief. There was a female sun goddess, or with goddess of dawn. That's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you've enjoyed, also please let me know, because it motivates me to make more of these videos. I wish you a great Gemini time. Gemini? I don't know. Anyway, everything best to you, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!